Have you ever observed how individuals begin to behave oddly when they sense something different about you? It's not merely your imagination. When you pursue your purpose and exude unique energy, it can unsettle those around you. Be it your strong faith, unwavering belief system, authenticity, or simply being a person of conviction, others pick up on it, often leaving them unsure how to respond. This distinct energy may elicit unusual and sometimes irritating reactions. People may become uncomfortable, their demeanor shifts, and you might wonder, why can't they just act normally? It can be frustrating because all you are doing is being yourself, following your path, and living your truth. Nevertheless, their responses can be perplexing and irritating. In this video, I will outline 6 behaviors people exhibit when they realize they've been chosen. These are not arbitrary reactions. They clearly indicate how your presence impacts them. Join me as we delve into these 6 bewildering behaviors, shedding light on their motivations. When individuals recognize that you've been chosen, a typical response is offering complimentary items. This can feel unexpected and even uncomfortable. Consider a scenario where you're out for a drink and the bartender suddenly says, "The first drink is on me." Or perhaps someone extends a VIP invitation at an event without your prior knowledge. This could even happen in everyday situations, like shopping, where staff provide special discounts, or in restaurants, where your meal might be unexpectedly covered. While these gestures may appear generous, they often leave you questioning, what have I done to deserve this? This phenomenon arises because people detect something extraordinary about you. There is an aura or energy that you radiate, which they find appealing, even if they can't fully articulate it. These offers are their attempt to connect with you, to become part of your orbit, or to express their appreciation for your exceptional presence. They view you as someone special, and offering free items is their way of acknowledging and honoring that uniqueness. It's worth noting that an average person typically doesn't receive invitations to exclusive gatherings or even know about them. However, when chosen, you might receive various advantages and invitations. People will discuss the most exciting upcoming shows and events to include you and recognize your compelling presence and unique qualities. By keeping you informed, they hope to align with you and share your unique energy and opportunities. However, this behavior can quickly become overwhelming. There may come a point where you feel inundated by others' efforts, which can be frustrating, especially when all you desire is to be treated normally without the additional fuss. They might say, "Don't worry, I've got the bill," or extend event invites, hoping you'll remember their kindness later. Some may even suggest, "Don't forget me when you're successful," attempting to carve out a place in your narrative. While these actions stem from admiration, they can sometimes feel like pressure, bringing with them expectations. This scenario necessitates a delicate balance. On one side, graciously accepting these offerings can foster positive connections and relationships, creating avenues of opportunity that might not be accessible otherwise. Conversely, it is entirely acceptable to politely decline if these gestures make you uneasy or feel laden with strings attached. The essential part is to remain grounded and true to your essence. You are not obligated to reciprocate simply because something is offered for free. Accept or decline based on what resonates with you, not out of obligation. Remember, people are drawn to your energy because they perceive value within you. Embrace this recognition and the positive attention it attracts while establishing clear boundaries to safeguard your comfort and autonomy. By doing so, you will be well equipped to navigate these interactions with confidence and grace, ensuring your unique qualities are honored without feeling overwhelmed by unsolicited generosity. The second behavior that can be irritating is when individuals gravitate towards you once they recognize that you are the chosen one. Initially, you may not be aware of this phenomenon, but your positive and unique energy draws people to you almost instinctively. It's akin to being a magnet. As you enter a space, you attract a gathering around you. Picture yourself walking into a room, and before long, you are encircled by 5 or 6 people. You might question, why are they so close to me? The answer lies in their perception of your distinctiveness and extraordinary nature. As a true chosen one, you will often notice people flocking to you, seemingly unable to resist the pull. It's reminiscent of scattering breadcrumbs in a field. At first, the area appears empty, but once the breadcrumbs are laid out, birds quickly arrive, eager to partake. Similarly, people feel that by remaining near you, they can absorb something extraordinary. They are drawn to your aura and inexplicable charisma, believing that being close to you brings them nearer to something magnificent, much like seeking a miracle by touching the hem of Jesus' garments. This continuous crowding can undoubtedly become a source of annoyance. You may find yourself thinking, "Hey, give me some space. What are you doing?" Individuals may attempt to touch you, invade your personal space, or simply stand too close, leaving you feeling uncomfortable. It may sometimes become overwhelming, prompting you to consider relocating to regain peace. Biblical examples of this phenomenon are numerous. For instance, in Mark 5:25-34, a woman who had suffered from prolonged bleeding touched Jesus' cloak amidst a crowd, convinced that a mere touch would heal her. And it did. Furthermore, in Luke 19:1-10, Zacchaeus, seeking to glimpse Jesus, climbed a sycamore tree due to the crowded situation, which led to a significant moment in his life. These behaviors clearly indicate that people know your unique energy and desire to connect with it as intimately as possible. They are drawn to you, invade your space, and strive to remain nearby, believing that only your presence can enhance their own lives. While this is a testament to your exceptional aura, it also poses a challenge in managing the constant attention without feeling suffocated. The third occurrence when people recognize your chosen status, which may sound unusual but is quite prevalent, is the emergence of envy among some individuals. This jealousy does not require a valid cause. Often, there is none. Individuals may feel a surge of envy and in turn seek to reject you as a means of boosting their self-esteem. This can transpire with friends, acquaintances, or co-workers. Out of the blue, someone once supportive might begin to act chilly or distant, leaving you puzzled about potential wrongs you may have committed. The reality is you have done nothing to warrant such behavior. Their rejection is rooted in insecurity and a desire to elevate themselves by diminishing you. This behavior can be both perplexing and hurtful. One day, interactions are positive, and the next, that person behaves as if you are beneath them. It seems that rejecting you empowers them and provides a sense of accomplishment. They validate by making you question your worth and temporarily bolster your confidence. This can be particularly frustrating, as it is difficult to comprehend why someone would behave this way without genuine provocation. Similar patterns are observed in biblical narratives. For instance, Joseph's brothers grew envious of him due to his dreams and their father's favoritism, resulting in their decision to sell him into slavery, Genesis 37. Another example includes Saul's jealousy of David, which incited multiple attempts on David's life despite David's loyalty and service, 1 Samuel 18. These stories underscore how envy can lead to irrational and damaging actions. Individuals exhibiting such behavior typically lack positive energy. They are akin to energy vampires, attempting to siphon positivity from others to compensate for their inadequacies. They sense your vibrant aura and angelic energy, but rather than feeling inspired, they perceive it as a threat. Though they might never voice it, deep down, they recognize that you embody something exceptional they lack. To cope with this disparity, they may resort to rejection, aiming to pull you down to their level. Their desire encompasses wanting to claim your light for themselves. If they perceive that they cannot control you, they may deliberately inflict harm, striving to diminish your spirit. This behavior is characteristic of individuals exhibiting narcissistic and deceitful tendencies. It centers around manipulating situations to assert a sense of superiority. They derive satisfaction from witnessing your struggles, as it momentarily conceals their shortcomings. In the end, any rejection you face does not reflect on you, but rather on your inability to handle your achievements and the distinctive qualities you bring to the world. Recognizing this can empower you to navigate these distressing interactions with grace and resilience, understanding that their rejection mirrors their internal conflicts and does not define your value. The fourth frustrating behavior you may encounter when people acknowledge your selection is intentional ignorance. Unlike overt rejection, ignoring you is a subtle yet purposeful act to diminish your confidence and self-worth. Individuals often resort to this to make you feel insignificant, a tactic that is far from accidental. This behavior stems from their insecurities and a desire to assert dominance. When people intentionally ignore you, they attempt to dull your brilliance to elevate themselves. It's a strategic approach. They notice your achievements, dedication, and promising future, which unnerves them. To cope, they choose to act as if they're invisible. This might manifest as ignoring your messages, feigning busyness in your presence, or dismissing you in social environments. Their actions stem from jealousy and a desire to pull you down to their level. For instance, a so-called friend may monitor your social media, keeping track of your activities without engaging with your posts. They might learn about your recent accomplishments through gossip, but respond indifferently when you share your news. Their responses are calculated. The next time you reach out, they've already chosen not to reply, pretending to have more pressing matters. This facade is meant to make you question your significance and the merit of your successes. Their actions focus on energy dynamics. They attempt to balance or exceed your positive energy by making you feel overlooked and undervalued. By doing so, they aim to create the false impression that they lead equally fulfilling lives, while in fact, they are merely seeking to undermine your confidence. This intentional disregard can be particularly frustrating, as it is so subtle. You know they recognize your presence and accomplishments, yet they opt to behave otherwise. This is a deliberate strategy to instill self-doubt. For instance, you might see them posting on social media shortly after you reach out, blatantly ignoring your attempts to connect while trying to appear engaged in their pursuits. Such actions reveal their true motives, diminishing you so they can feel uplifted. It's a toxic interaction fueled by their inability to celebrate others' successes without feeling threatened. Understanding this behavior and what it is can equip you to navigate it more successfully. Recognize that their ignorance reflects their insecurities, not their worth. By maintaining your confidence and commitment to your journey, you can rise above their petty attempts to dim your shine. Another irritating behavior exhibited by those who recognize your selection is their tendency to continuously boast about their achievements. Specific individuals feel compelled to showcase their successes whenever you are present. Each conversation becomes an opportunity for them to highlight their most recent accomplishments, declaring things like, "I just bought a new car," or "I'm attending an exclusive event tonight." They share details about luxury purchases, earnings, and high-profile gatherings. This relentless boasting can be tiresome as you listen to them attempt to outshine you. Even as you strive to be supportive, their competitive nature is apparent. It's as if they believe that flaunting their successes will elevate them to your level. You might respond with sincere congratulations, trying to remain polite and encouraging, yet every interaction aligns with their apparent need to assert themselves. What's more disheartening is their apparent lack of interest in your achievements. They often change the subject or feign ignorance once you share something positive about your life. They might appear engrossed in something else or offer a dismissive reply. This behavior clearly indicates that their primary aim is not to cultivate a balanced dialogue, but to monopolize the discussion with their triumphs. Their incessant boasting serves as covert competition, revealing their desire to overshadow you without admitting it. They won't acknowledge that they view you as someone noteworthy, so they strive to eclipse your narrative with their own. This subtle yet relentless competition stems from insecurities and the need to be perceived as equally accomplished. Awareness of this dynamic can help clarify why such interactions feel so exhausting and one-sided. It's not about you, it's about their need for validation through overshadowing. Lastly, another disconcerting behavior you'll face when others see your selection is their tendency to blame you for their issues. This can be particularly surprising, especially when it comes from those close to you, such as a partner, friend, or family member. When they encounter challenges they cannot resolve or prefer to evade responsibility for, they deflect the blame onto you. Certainly. Here's the rewritten text. For instance, your partner might assert, "It's your fault we had an argument," despite the dispute having little to do with you. They may insist, "You told me to do the dishes," distorting the situation to imply that you blame them for their frustration. This behavior arises from their difficulty in managing personal challenges. As a significant presence in their life, they find it simpler to shift their issues onto you, viewing you as a scapegoat for their failures and inadequacies. They may claim, "We didn't get into the club because of you," or "It's your fault we missed this opportunity," even when the underlying reasons are unrelated to you. This avoidance of personal accountability often stems from their actions or inactions contributing to their issues. Individuals who project blame onto you are frequently driven by jealousy and insecurity. Witnessing your achievements and your positive life trajectory can catalyze discomfort with your failures. They attempt to diminish your confidence and elevate your self-esteem by placing blame. This tendency is especially prevalent among those with low self-esteem who feel the need to belittle others to feel better about themselves. A parallel can be drawn from the Bible. For example, in Genesis, Joseph's brothers attribute their feelings of jealousy and resentment to him, ultimately leading to his betrayal and sale into slavery. Their motivations were rooted in their insecurities and envy of Joseph's favored status and dreams. This inclination to blame the chosen one serves as a means of evading accountability for one's faults and missteps. They may assert, "You're the reason I haven't achieved success," or "It's your fault I'm unhappy," as a justification for their stagnation or dissatisfaction. Often there's no logical basis for their accusations. It's merely an evasion of their responsibilities. Recognizing this behavior for what it is can facilitate better navigation of these interactions. Understand that their blame reflects their issues rather than being a legitimate critique of your actions. It is essential to maintain confidence and remain steadfast despite attempts to undermine you. Doing so can safeguard your mental and emotional health while grasping the underlying motivations behind your behavior. Thus, my friends, being perceived as chosen brings a distinct array of challenges and responses from others. While it is gratifying to be acknowledged for your unique energy and purpose, it also invites envy, rivalry, and blame. Those around you may struggle to cope with your presence, leading to frustrating and perplexing reactions. Recognizing that these responses often indicate their insecurities more than anything about you is vital. Approaching these interactions with grace and resilience is crucial. Establish boundaries when needed and remain true to yourself. Embrace the positive attention and opportunities that come your way without allowing the negativity of others to dissuade you. Your journey as a chosen individual is significant and powerful. Continue to shine brightly and let your inner strength navigate these trials. Proceed confidently, knowing your path is imbued with purpose and significance, and your unique energy is a valuable contribution to the world. Now, dear friends, I invite you to share your stories and experiences in the comments, not merely as personal reflections, but as testimonies of divine experiences. Embrace this call with humility and boldness, recognizing that you are not just participants in the divine narrative, but vital storytellers. May your journey be blessed, and may you inspire others to recognize and embrace the divine gifts in their lives. If you find this message resonates with you and are ready for part 2, simply write part 2.